let me tell you people what this is so that we can talk about it. I'm not going to do like a whole read through the
It's
plot
snakes
or
on a
anything.
plane. That's what it is.
But I got to say this because I have to explain what my son's reaction to it was. So Samuel L. Jackson plays an FBI agent. He's escorting a witness to the kid's father's murder, um, from Honolulu to Los Angeles, and the Hawaiian mob, or Japanese mob, whatever it was, that wants to kill this witness before he gets to trial, plants venomous snakes on a plane that they've commandeered as a passenger plane. So they've kind of taken over first class, and everybody else has to sit in coach, which is actually a major plot point of this thing. And on this plane in the cargo area is a box of dozens of different venomous snakes, which are all hyped to aggression through the use of pheromones that are laced on leis because it's Hawaii. So the bomb goes off. The snakes are then let loose, and we have two immediate problems that pretty much carry the plot of this movie, so much such as it is. The snakes are biting people. Okay, there's a good solid once we get going hour ish of this. How long is this movie? Um, of this, I'm in the wrong one. 106-minute movie. About a solid hour of people being bit in the private parts by snakes. Just bit on the boobs, bit in the penis, bit in the vagina. You know, there's one snake that says he has all the good words. It's a whole thing. It's just everyone's getting bit everywhere by these snakes, and they are a variety of snakes with a variety of venom. Some are instantly deadly, some are deadly in a little while, some are not necessarily deadly but will make you really, really sick. So one of the complications of this movie is they get a guy who's a snake expert, and he's like, you know, and Bobby Cavanaugh, who is the other FBI agent who's running home base, he's like, make anti-venom. And the guy's like, for what? Which snake? And how much? Like, it's not a fire hose. That's not how this works. So a lot of
Yeah.
this is them trying to science the fuck out of how do you heal a plane full of people, most of which bitten by snakes, a variety of snakes with a variety of venom. So that's actually a cool element of this, which I never really keyed into before. The second problem that they have is the snakes keep damaging the plane. So as they're slithering around, they're biting wires, they're knocking things out. The plane is slowly but surely not only losing its pilots, but it's also losing its flyability. So Samuel L. Jackson has to save a plane full of people who are sick or dying from venomous snakes, has to somehow keep everyone safe from the snakes once the original wave of attacks pass, has to keep the witness safe because we don't want to lose him. That makes this all for nothing. And then eventually we lose the pilots, so he has to fly, he has to land the plane. Which, when this happens, they are about mid-flight. They actually say, like, we're halfway to Los Angeles. It'll take just as much time to get back as it will to just finish the flight. So that's the whole movie. That is it in a nutshell. And I will say this, and then I will concede the floor to you, Jason. I like this movie a lot. I think it holds up as a fun premise, and I think it's a very efficient script. My son was like, "I hate this movie. It's an hour and 46 minutes of people being bitten in the dick by snakes. No, thank you. Your witness."
Well, I mean, yes, it's one of those movies. I mean, you get all you need to know in the poster and the film title. It's Snakes on a Plane. Um, some of it is a little outlandish, like the 35-foot
Boa
Burmese
constrictor.
python that they
Oh, was it a
Burmese
python or was it a
python.
boa
Yeah,
constrictor? Okay.
there's a Burmese python that's on the plane that somehow gets up into the luggage area to fall through plastic. It doesn't matter. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter. It doesn't
don't think
need to
too hard about
explain.
this.
Yeah. So it's a big ass snake on the plane that can kill you. And it was a nod to the throwback of Anaconda that we've
Yeah.
reviewed here in the archives. It's just one of those movies that you can just throw on and just tune out and enjoy it. You don't. It's not too hard to think about. You don't have to like try to analyze anything. It's just snakes on a. These motherfucking snakes on my motherfucking plane.
Yeah.
That's it. And it, like you said, it does have a really good premise of the snakes damaging the plane, because that adds a whole level of tension and uh, relatability of real life. Like, what if this happened? And and the explosion, the release of snake, like you said, mentioned, ha- happens when they're at the quote unquote point of no return, where it's either they continue to fly, either way they go, and it's going to be the same distance and same outcome. So it's intriguing, it's fun, it's mind-numbingly fun, and Samuel L. Jackson just gets to be like this really over-the-top FBI agent
The
that is
thing is,
pissed
he's
off
not
you're a
over the
snake on
top
the
though.
plane.
I actually think that's a mischaracterization of him. I don't think he is over the top. He's playing it straight. Like when he says, "I have had enough of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane," he's exasperated. He has been pushed to the limit, and finally he just kind of fucking snaps. It almost actually comes out of nowhere. Like upon second viewing, that line doesn't necessarily match the rest of the tenor of the movie, the way he plays his character. For the 99.9% of this movie, he is serious, he is heroic, he is dashing, he is doing all the things an action hero should be. He is cool under pressure. When the kid is like, "I want to help. I feel like a third wheel around here," and he's like, "This whole thing is about you, though. If I lose you, what was the point of any of it? These people die for nothing." Like, he's doing all the stuff that we talked about with Black Snake Moon. He's kind of doing here, and then he has that moment of like, uh, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. They are holding on by a thread, and he just burst out with, "I I have had enough of these motherfucking snakes on these motherfucking plane." He is the furthest thing from over the top. Now, you want to talk about the rest of the cast, who are every awful passenger on a plane ever? Sure.
Well, no, I'm just saying he's over the top because he's himself turned up to 11 in wrestling terms.
Okay.
It's the fact that it's he's over the top in the fact that he's trying to figure out what to do. He's very animated because
Yes.
he is at his wits end, because he doesn't know what to fucking do. He doesn't, and it comes across. And a key point when it comes across is when they're trying to identify the snakes, and he's sitting there holding what is obviously a huge rubber snake, and he's like, "It's a green one. It's got green on it." And the one of the perceived gay flight attendant said, "It's more of like a, I think it's like he said, a
He's like,
jade or an
it's like
emerald."
more of a teal.
Yeah, and he goes, "Yeah, that." And it's just like he's over the top in the point of he's just done with everything. Like
Mhm.
everything that could go wrong. It's basically the Murphy's Law theory.
Yeah.
Anything that can go wrong does go wrong, and it's just like he's at his wits end. He doesn't know what the hell to do. He's trying to convey information to the ground, and then when at the end of the movie when they go to land the plane, and we have Keenan that tells him that, yeah, I've got all these flight hours, and comes to find out it's a flight simulator that he doesn't even have the high score on. His brother does,
Right.
and he's just like, great, well, this is what my life has come to. I'm
I
fucking done.
I love this movie. I'm sorry, I feel bad that my son didn't like it as much. It was definitely like a cultural phenomenon in its time, but it also didn't do that well. Like, for whatever reason, I think this is one of those movies where this is a fun rental. Like, this is not this didn't bring people to the theater the way they thought it would, but I do think it has had a second and third life as home viewing. This is definitely a fun movie to put on, as for a viewing party to like watch with your friends, etc. Um, I just want to conclude with this last little bit that I really enjoyed from the movie. First of all, I have been the snake doctor. I have absolutely been that guy going, "All right, I need the details here so I can help you." And they're like, it's blue," and I'm like, "Ugh, I don't
Yeah,
even."
I think we've all been. I think in one way or other we've all been in that situation. especially as parents.
But I definitely. But here's the other thing I'll tell you, and this will be the last comment I make on this. We can move on. The best thing about Snakes on a Plane, outside of Samuel Jackson's individual performance and some of the silly dialogue that's supposed to be over the top, is how deadly serious everyone plays this movie. It is a ridiculous premise, and everyone is acting like not that this is an ordinary thing. Everyone's acting appropriately freaked out, but this isn't played for laughs. You know what I mean? This isn't a satire. This isn't a parody. This isn't, you use the phrase again, over the top, and I'm like, it's over the top because the situation is so far out of the realm of possibility. Like, the idea of like basically a terrorist somehow or other gets snakes snakes and pheromones on this plane to make this moisture happen is pretty far out of the realm of possibility. But you go with it because you're here for the premise. You're here to suspend disbelief. The cast itself plays it deadly fucking serious. Like, they are absolutely reacting the way people would react, good, bad, or indifferent. And it's not like it doesn't feel like, like a Wayans Brothers scary movie kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Definitely, and we'll talk about the Wayans brothers here in a little bit. Um, but yeah, it doesn't seem like it doesn't go as far as "I'm gonna get you, sucker,"
Yeah. Like, it's
or
not silly.
yeah, it's played for laughs because it's trying to take itself serious,
Right.
and that's one of the key points
And that's what makes it
that
work.
makes it that's what makes it work.
Right. Because if they really weren't engaged with the material, I don't think this works nearly as well. But everyone's like, nope, this is a real problem. All right, so that's Snakes on a Plane.